Welcome everyone to this conversation on the evolving landscape of cybersecurity architecture. Today, we are honored to have a seasoned expert with us, technologies Prasad Jayabalan, a cybersecurity leader in telecommunication industry with extensive experience in security architecture and risk management. Before we dive in, Prasad, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Very good morning. Thank you for having me today. So my name is Prasad, and I currently serve as the head of cybersecurity strategy and architecture at Axiata.
Awesome. So let's start with a fundamental but critical topic, security by design. In today's threat landscape, security cannot be an afterthought. So, Prasad, how can organizations, especially the large enterprises, ensure that security is integrated into their architecture from the start rather than being patched later?
Yeah, sure. Totally agree with you. So in any large enterprise, including security from day one is critical. It's about making security part of the organization's DNA. So ensuring every system considers security in the beginning stage of any system development. So this proactive approach will ensure that the threats are eliminated before it becomes an incident. This is how an organization should approach security by design. So there are a few steps that you can normally take in terms of securing the organization and embedding security by design. So the first, you need to ensure that the security is integrated into the architecture process early. So what we must do is we must involve the security architecture at the initial design phase of every project. At the design table, we conduct threat modeling, we define security controls together with the functional and non-functional requirements. So no projects move forward without a security design review stage yet. This kind of governance ensures that accountability for security in every step of the development lifecycle. Second, we must adopt a DevSecOps shift left approach. What this simply means is we must build security into the development pipelines. So check happens automatically as code is written, infrastructure is defined. For example, we integrate automated code scanning and for secure coding standards. That includes configuration check-ins in continuous integration and continuous deployment CI/CD. So by detecting the issues early, we don't slow down innovation. We enable teams to deliver new features quickly and safely. This actually creates a culture where developers see security as a shared responsibility, not a late stage gate. So last
Mhm.
but not least, we must foster a company-wide security first culture with clear guidelines. Security by design is just not about the tools. It's a mindset. We provide
Mhm.
teams with easy to follow up reference architecture so that they don't reinvent the wheels for each and every project. We must also establish security champions in development team to keep an eye on design decision and spread good practices throughout the organizations.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, one common challenge we hear from business leaders is the perceived trade-off between strong security controls and business agility. So, digital transformation moves fast, but security often slows things down, or at least that's the concern. In your opinion, how can security architecture be designed to support innovation while at the same time ensuring robust protection?
Yes. So it's essential to balance the strong security with business goal. Security should not be a roadblock. It should be always seen as enabling innovation. It must enable the business to move fast, but safely. So this balance is critical because if we slow things down too much, teams might find a way around security out of frustration. So this is what I see based on my experience. So it even creates a bigger risk. So there are few steps that we can take along the way. First, we need to ensure that the risk-based approach align with business goals. So, for instance, not every project carries the same risk. We must tailor the security measures accordingly. For example, a new experimental product might go through a lightweight security review, focus on the most critical data and high impact risks, rather than a full exhaustive checklist. This way, we can protect what truly matters while letting low risk innovations move quickly.
Mm, yeah, that's interesting. So moving on into the a very exciting topic these days, AI. So we had heard a lot about AI, and it has been changing. AI and automation, especially, has been changing the cybersecurity landscape. We are seeing AI-driven tools being used for everything from threat detection to compliance monitoring. So, how is AI being leveraged in security architecture to enhance threat detection, response, and also compliant management?
So one key area is proactive threat detection. So we use machine learning to analyze logs and network activity to spot any adversaries that could indicate an attack. So we prevent the threats before it becomes an incident. For example, an AI system learns normal user behavior patterns, flags unusual logins, or data access that might signal an insider threat or compromised account. So, in practice, AI normally correlates events across the enterprise to find the needle in the haystack in a real time so we can act on true threats immediately. So another area that we can look at is the automated incident response. When a threat is confirmed, automated playbooks can take action within seconds. If malware is detected on a device, the system isolates that machine. If an account is compromised, it locks it down right away. So, meanwhile, AI helps prioritize incidents by severity, focusing our analysts on most critical attacks while lower level issues are handled automatically. So, the priority changes where the team looks at more of strategic, high critical attacks, while the lower level issues are handled automatically by AI. So, we also use AI for automation for compliance and routine checks. AI continuously watches for system misconfigurations or suspicious activities that might violate security policy. If a server, for instance, drifts away from its approved minimum baseline, automation can alert the team immediately. Likewise, if a user attempts to access data they shouldn't, automated controls can block it on the spot based on least privilege policies.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And cyber threats are evolving rapidly. Technology evolve, cyber threat also evolve. And industries like telecommunication and critical infrastructure are prime target for large scale cyber attack. So Prasad, from your perspective, how should security architecture adapt to address these ever evolving threats in telecom and critical infrastructure?
One key strategy is zero trust architecture with strong segmentation. So we assume no user or system inside the network is automatically trusted. We have to always verify. We carve the environment into secure zones, for example, isolating core operational systems from the corporate ID network, so that if one segment is breached, attackers can't easily jump to others. Strict access controls, least privilege policies, and continuous verification are enforced at every layer. So the result is that even if an adversary gets in, any intrusion is confined to a small segment of the network rather than spreading everywhere. So another crucial measure is advanced attack surface discovery with threat intelligence. So attackers see your organization as a whole, not just your main website. This capability will help you see what they see and proactively fix the weaknesses before they are exploited.
Yeah.
Shift from reactive to proactive ensures that, as I mentioned earlier, the threats are identified before it becomes an incident.
Yeah. And building up upon that and also looking ahead, cybersecurity will only become more complex with emerging threats, increasing cloud adoption, and also evolving regulation. So, what are the key strategies for building a security architecture that remains resilient and adaptive in the coming years?
So to future-proof the security architecture, we must build in adaptability from the start itself. So threats will keep evolving, the cloud usage will grow, and the regulations will shift. Rather than reacting with one-off fixes, we establish a strong fundamental and design and architecture that can be flexible, at the same time scalable as requirements change. So future-proofing is about being both resilient and agile, keeping the organization safe no matter what 2025 and beyond brings.
Yes. Okay, so this has been an incredibly insightful conversation, Prasad. So thank you so much for sharing your insights on security architecture, AI, and threat landscape. So again, thank you once again for joining us today and for audience to tuning in. So stay secure and stay informed.
Thank
Thanks.
you for having me. Have a great day.